The top performers are proudly sponsored by Warrington Wolves Supporters Trust Squad Builder. Here are your top performers from round number 5 of the Betfred Super League. The most tries scored in the round were from Jaden Nicarima and Mikey Lewis, each with 2. Whilst the most try assists came from Aidan Caesar, Liam Hood and Harry Smith, again setting up 2. The top meter maker was Jaden Nicarima at the Salford Red Devils, 238. Whilst the most clean breaks came from Roderick Ty, Tom Davis, Bevan French, Tabita, Pangai Jr., Harry Robertson in his senior, and Jaden Nicarima once more, each with 2. The most tackle bust of the round came from Nick Kotrick of the Catalan Dragons with 13. Whilst the most hard meters made down the middle, you've got to be a prop forward, second row loose forward in this one, was Herman SASA of Hull FC with 141. The most offloads came from Tane Milne of the Huddersfield Giants with 5. Whilst the most tackles were made by Jay Pitts of Wakefield Trinity with 55. Sam Walters got 47 from 47, 100% efficiency. And finally, the best goal kickers of the round were Mikey Lewis and Sam Tompkins, getting 5 from 6 in their respective games. These are your top performers from round number 5. This production comes to you in association with the Bluebell Warrington. Situated in an 18th century building in the town centre and just a 5-minute walk from the HJ Stadium, the Bluebell is the perfect destination for pre- and post-game food and drink. The 2024 Warrington Pub of the Year is now the official home of Super League Raw on Warrington Wolves match days for both home and away supporters. Super League Raw are delighted to have agreed a members-only area, allowing our community to come together to discuss rugby league pre- and post-match. So set your course to the Bluebell Warrington on match days and beyond. You are sure to be greeted with a warm welcome and a cold beer. Super League Raw and the Bluebell, the perfect partnership in enhancing your match day experience. As it says there, you can't beat a bit of weekly. Good evening, gentlemen. As always, in the house, Reggie and Steph. Good evening. How are we?
Good evening. Very well, sir. Thank you.
Marvellous. Mr. Sale.
Good evening. You okay?
Very well indeed. Yes, half an hour delay tonight. Do apologise, that, ladies and gentlemen. And solely on YouTube. We did say in March that would happen. There are links on Facebook and Twitter to get people onto YouTube. But from now on, the only place to watch Super League Raw weekly is going to be on YouTube. Spoiler alert. Good evening to everybody in the chat. Evening to Andy Wild, Dawn Kirby's there, John Wilson. Hey up, John. Hope you're well, mate. Hope to see you on Friday. Tony Pennington there, Rebecca Frey. Oh, they're all in. Outstanding. Make sure you get involved in the merriment and the debate this evening. Lots to discuss, of course, as always, gentlemen. A fine round number 5. Great, Steph, start with you. What was your favourite try of round 5? Putting you on the spot.
Oh, good grief. Probably not my favourite, but I thought the Burgess to Mikey Lewis was a great try, a bit of skill from the winger there against us. So I'd probably say that one.
Fantastic, Mr. Nixon.
Easy for me. George Williams against Saints. No, he wasn't offside.
Oof. Yeah, but I thought some really good tries this weekend. I thought Tompkins took his well. I thought the Mikey Lewis offload for Tangino was a piece of genius, wasn't it? And that was a lovely bit of skill. Some big biff as well, Big Herman and Tavita Pangai Jr.
Yes, I'm not going to say the joke. It's been worn out by now, but yes.
Yes.
Well worth the entrance fee.
Absolutely outstanding. Some really, really good tries at the weekend and some really good quality contests. We hope you enjoyed the round unpacked yesterday. The members, of course, live, plenty tuning in for that. If you're not a member, why aren't you a member? Of course, you're missing out on some brilliant, brilliant shows. In the corner there is the QR code. We'd love you to join this evening. All the benefits on the website. If you're on your phone, when you go to the member page, there's a little blue arrow. You click on that, you'll see all the benefits that you get. Come and join the fastest growing community in Rugby League. Right, we've got lots to get through, so let's start off with a little bit of fun with this.
Capture the photo!
Yes, caption the photo. We put a photo on, of course, last Friday for you. For those listening on the podcast, it's Derek Beaumont in Vegas pointing at something. Lots of drinks on the table, and quite a few people have got involved with caption the photo. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through them now. Right, starting with Wayne Valentine. I don't know if he's a relation of Chris and Andrea, but obviously a Leifer, because he said, and with that drop goal, they got beat by a bus stop in their own backyard, obviously referring to the opening round win 1-0 against the Wigan Warriors. So that was very humorous indeed. Well done, Wayne. Declan Crehan, he limped in. That man over there, he's Bevan French. Can you do the league a favour and make him disappear? For me personally, I wouldn't want Bevan to disappear. I think he's too good to disappear. He had so much, but I can see Declan's point. It is a little bit unfair that Bevan French, of course, plays against so many teams, 11 in fact, over the course of the season. Right, Bazza Kingston, a member, he linked in as well. He said, "It's him there, mate. Chuck him out. He's trying to sign more of our players for FC." Good lad, Baz. But Fraser Howard, I think I put an S on his name. Do apologise, Fraser. I've been up against it tonight. Fraser Howard, Leeds Rhinos fans, another member. This is a little beauty. And look, that's our bus stop right there. If you squint your eyes enough, you might see it. Good lad, Fraser. Like that one. Right, Peter Barley, he linked in as well. He said, here it comes. Here comes Pete. I may be a magician, but you're not winning the league, Derek. I like that. I like that a lot. But I have to say, it's cheeky, it's humorous, it's proper children's jokes, but it never gets old, a joke like this. Phil Webster, another member. And I said to the chair of the Rugby Football League, just pull this finger. Comedy gold. Many congratulations to those people who got involved. Another Caption the Photo will be on our Facebook and Twitter pages very soon. Get involved. Who knows, your name may be read out for that. But yeah, outstanding. Well done to everybody. The Super League Raw Quiz Night, it is official. It is back at the Bluebell this April, Wednesday the 16th. I think I've got that date right. Let me just check it now. Yes, it is. Wednesday the 16th. There's no football on. There's no rugby league on. So if you're in and around the Warrington area, Leigh, we have people from Wigan. Good evening, of course, to Andy and to Emma. They were on the titles tonight. They won the first quiz. They'll be in the Bluebell for that on the 16th of April. If you're in Leigh, Wigan, St. Helens, get yourself to the Bluebell in Warrington. Great prizes. Win your ticket. If you're not a Warrington fan, you can win your ticket for your away game at Alibel John Stadium. If you are a Warrington fan, top prize again will be your ticket for for an upcoming game at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, and the Bluebell throw in a free meal for you as well. So that is well worth coming. A great night of entertainment. Do come and join us at the Bluebell on the 16th of April. More details to follow in and around the time. And we are also going to have a little word with our members with regards to that, but I won't say that live on air. But yes, if you're in and around Warrington, please do get to that. Right, lots of news as always, and we do it at rapid pace. It's time for this. Banging or hanging? Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy. It is time. Don't know where it's gone. There I am. It's time for hanging or banging. Of course, as you know, we get rid of Greg and we get rid of Steph on this one. We have a little bit of fun. We have a little bit of merriment. Steph is going to kick us off this week. So for now, it's goodbye to Reggie. And we're going to start with you, Steph, with this little beauty. Ryan Hall, 500 games, yes. But should he have been in the team of the week?
No, definitely not. He should be celebrated 100%. 500 games is a massive achievement in the sport, but no, there was far better wingers this week than Ryan, so that's hanging for me.
Absolutely. I think that was hanging as well. As you say, Ryan Hall, exceptional career. Very, very fortunate indeed to be in the team of the week. Goodbye to Steph. Hello to Mr. Nixon, because next we're going to be talking Castleford Tigers. Greg, the recruitment at the Tigers, Singleton and Silver been brought in for Castleford. Is this good enough for them?
Oh, Singleton's. I think Singleton has been a solid, even spectacular player in his career. I think this is one that is probably just there to bolster the numbers, really. It's kind of. Well, I think we'll have to see. It's a behanging at this moment in time. It could work well for them. So I'll sit firmly on the fence in this one and say behanging, if that's such a word.
I just think they needed a little bit more, personally. I think you're right there, Mr. Nixon. Well done. Goodbye to Greg. Hello to Steph. Steph, I don't know if you saw it, but Ryan Hall shot on our very own Greg Nixon. What's your thoughts on this one at full time? Don't say the word potential. It's Greg's favourite word. What were your thoughts on that?
No, I thought after the game, Ryan spoke really, really well, to be fair. I think it was a really good interview. He kind of deflected all the attention from him and was good on the focus of the game as a whole. But that was Ryan's character throughout his career, hasn't it? So fair play to him. I liked how he commanded that interview. So I'm going to say
it was a banging interview, but to shoot on Sir Gregory, how many times have we heard the word potential come from the Nixon's mouth? Who knows? It might just come in this next little clip, because the next question for Mr. Nixon is going to be Kai Taylor-Ray scoring a brace for the Vikings, mate, getting a win.
Great tries.
22, and one of them a full lengther.
Great tries. Both of them, he had to work hard. He did some good runs as well. Defensively, okay too. This can only be great news for Kai. He's got massive potential. Got to say, it's my favourite word. I think it's banging for him. It's banging for Widnes that he gets as much experience as he can, lives up to that potential, and then takes over the reins from Matt Duffy, who's already shown his potential in Super League.
Mate, I love you to pitch. You're one of my oldest mates, and you do pop into my head quite a lot. But every time he had a go on that interview saying potential, all I could think of was you on this show. Absolute genius. Well done, Mr. Nixon. Goodbye to you. Back comes Mr. Sale. Mr. Sale, a very serious question now. Where is Noah Stevens? 18th man pretty much all the time for the Saints. Should he be starting 17?
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? They've had a few injuries, like with Matty Lee's not playing. I know Matty Lee's came back into the team into this week, but very surprised Noah's got not had a start yet. So a bit hanging for me, because I think he was showed a lot of potential last season. So he should really be getting his chance, but we don't know what's going on behind there, why he's not.
Well,
so,
like I say, mate, he keeps getting 18 ban a lot, does, and like a Wingfield ahead of him against Warrington. Don't know what's going on there. I mean, I think Noah Stevens, he could make a serious impact for Saints. Will he play this weekend? Lots of potential, absolutely. And speaking of potential, here comes Mr. Nixon once again. He's got bags of it.
I'm going to trademark that word.
Greg, get well soon, Luke Robinson. Will somebody send him a horseshoe, a four-leaf clover, a rabbit's foot on a string? I mean, injuries, suspensions, you've got to feel for the lad.
Yeah, everything that could go wrong is going wrong at this moment in time. It's stifling the Giants' potential to do well this season. Yeah, come on, somebody. He's obviously run over a black cat or something on his way to work. Yeah, it's hanging for the club, hanging for him, hanging for the players. Got to feel sorry for the fans. You really have to.
Absolutely. We really feel for Luke Robinson. And I
Yeah.
think it's only right he's judged once everybody comes back into the fold.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. Goodbye to Mr. Nixon. In back to Mr. Sale for this one. It's all over the Southern Hemisphere daily. Cherry Evans announces he's going to leave Manly. They're all over it down in Australia. Is Super League calling for Daly, Cherry Evans, or will he remain in the NRL?
Well, if he comes to Super League, it'll definitely be banging because he's one of the best talents there's been, for the past decade, really, hasn't it? Now in the NRL, it'd be a massive name to come to Super League. I just can't see it. I think he's going to. I think he'll stay in the NRL, but you never know. Some rich owner may come up with an offer.
I mean, let's carry on the discussion with regards to
Banging.
this. Say, hang on a minute.
Or hanging.
We'll be back next week. Let's bring Mr. Nixon back in. Let's carry on this conversation with regards to Mr. Cherry Evans. I mean, as Steph rightly said there, Greg, class player. I mean, the amount of teams that could do with a player of that quality, dare I say, Leigh be one of them. In terms of a marshalling number 7, I think he's just too good. I think he'll probably end up at the Bulldogs or the Roosters. But it'd be nice to think we could attract him. He would certainly. It'd be a great cameo, Greg.
There was a cheeky rumour flying around Facebook today that he was signing for Saints, nailed on. I'm not so sure about that. Maybe, Johnny Lomax is no spring chicken these days. But yeah, if he were to come to Super League, that would be a fantastic signing for the game in this country, no matter who he signs for. The words world class are kind of bandied around all too easily these days. But Dale Cherry Evans is one of those players that we can safely say is world class and has been for a long time.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I mean, you'd have him at least, Steph, wouldn't you?
Yeah, in a heartbeat, but he ain't coming to Leigh. It's one of those. I mean, it's not always about money, and someone who's earned quite a bit of money in his career. I'm sure it's about the challenge for him rather than the actual the cash. I think the cash should be a bonus for him. But I just. With players like that, I can't see him coming from the. I think he'll see his time out over in the NRL.
We're international by the sounds of it. Tunisia, Berlin, and Orford are being talked about here. Craig Forth saying it's global. I have to say, Craig Forth, the member, Bazza Kingston, did a great post. It's a sticker on the WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group is back after listening to our members. They wanted the WhatsApp group back. We have brought them back, but please do support the website. Make sure you go on that on a regular basis.
Yeah, I'm glad it's back because I was missing those pings in the early hours of the morning.
Absolutely, make sure you turn your sound off. But yeah, it's back and it's back big time. We do listen here at Super League Raw. Keep enjoying your WhatsApp group, folks. We know you're enjoying it. But Bazza Kingston had a sticker on there, and Craig Forth has done his own version. Well done, Craig. Love a bit of banter like that. Absolutely outstanding. Right, who else is in the chat? Nige Bennett, Dale Cherry Evans, too good for Super League. Yeah, maybe not. You say the same about Bevan French, but he's here, as is Big Herman Essa. But yeah, Darren Baker, good evening to you, Dawn, in the chat. We'll try and keep up with it. Boys, try and help me with that throughout the evening, if you would. Somebody has scanned the QR code. Hopefully we're getting some more new members this evening. The caps are coming. Keep your eye on the website tomorrow. We have already given our members a sneak peek of the baseball caps. They are going on our website tomorrow, as too will be the hoodies. So those members who've been asking about that, they will go on the website, on the shop tomorrow. Make sure you get them. Don't forget, we've still got 2 Challenge Cup tickets up for grabs in Club Wembley. We're raising money for Grassroots Rugby League here at Super League Raw. Get yourself over to the website. Make sure that you go to the shop, and in there you can have 10 entries for a tenner. 2 people are going to be going to the Challenge Cup final, courtesy of Super League Raw in Club Wembley. It could be you. Again, go over to www.superleagueraw.com after the show and get your entries. Who knows? We may be having a new member at some point during the show, and somebody else
Another one.
The QR code as well, so we could get even more by the end of the show. Okay, right. We've got plenty to get through. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I am going to pass over to my old mucker because it's now time to check in on all the latest news from the Women's Super League.
Okay, we go. So, as a Warrington fan, I think it's fair to say you won't often hear me agreeing with St Helens chairman Emmett McManus, but this week he had a little bit of a pop at the RFL, and I don't want to go on about this for too long, but he was talking about the England game against the Gillaroos in Vegas, and I think his comment was justified. He called the fixture insane, maybe not quite the right word to use. But his point was that nobody taken account for the result, which, in his words, could have destroyed the hard-earned confidence and the exuberance of the English girls. And as I've been saying for a while now, there does need to be some accountability from clubs to help build on the impetus. St Helens themselves have been great for the women's game. Leeds and York, I've said Wigan and Leigh and Swinton have also got behind the game. We all need to buy into it now. There's a question about financing the game. That's a given. The game isn't flush at this moment in time, but structurally and through better resources, we need to get behind the women's game. And I think that Eamon was justified in that comment there. So fair play to him. As I say, on a more positive note, I'd like to congratulate the Swinton Lionesses who won their first competitive game against Bradford Bulls. They ran out 34-6 at the weekend, and it was great to see some former Wire players doing really well. Jazz Wilson, Sammy Simpson, and Shannon Stevens, who I think I tipped for great things earlier on this season, getting over the try line with Michelle Davis, former Warrington captain, taking over the kicking duties as well. So it's good to see him enjoying the rugby again. Talking about Warrington, we spoke of a few teams and their chances this season already. It's time to maybe look at what the 2025 season holds for them as they prepare for their first Challenge Cup game against Cardiff at home on April the 6th. It's fair to say that after a decent start last year, Warrington's season fell away quite dramatically. A lot of injuries, a lot of illness, player departures at vital times. They've depleted the squad. I meant that some of the academy girls had to step up to the plate against the likes of Saints and Leeds, Wigan and York. Probably a little earlier than you'd planned. That's not to say that they let anybody down, but I don't think that was the plan at the start of the season. And new head coach Jed Ginty, he's had a hard task in getting a squad together over the off season. Some more players have left, gone to Swinton, Salford, Huddersfield and other clubs. And experienced skipper Kate May Williams, she retired at the end of last season. Still got some long-term injuries in there as well, which isn't helping. But he's managed to get together a decent squad, I think. A young squad, a squad that's bolstered by some recruits from Rugby Union, which I think means they could be a bit of an unknown quantity this season. Obviously, from a personal point of view, I'd like them to be able to avoid another relegation battle this season and secure a mid-table position. But, Huddersfield, Barrow, Leigh, they're going to have a lot to say about that. And that's where the interest, I think, lies this season, in that level below the top four. I think that Huddersfield and Barrow, they acquitted themselves really well last season, be hoping to consolidate that. Huddersfield have strengthened their squad with Eva Izumu from York and Fran Copley from Featherstone, as well as Grace Burnett, again from Warrington, and her colleague from the Army, Sky Jackson, which will bolster their pack no end this season. And then we have Barrow, who appear to have got a settled squad, a couple of additions from last season, and they'll be delighted with their friendly victory over Warrington last weekend. And so, as I said, for me, the battle with real interest this season, and we'll discuss Saints next week, is outside of that top four, where I think, there'll be a lot of interesting, close, tight games that will decide who stays in Super League and who doesn't for next season. And finally, some potential transfer news. There's that word again. It appears that Leeds have pulled off a bit of a coup with the signing of England's second rower, Leigh from York Valkyrie. She could also play at centre, a little bit like Amy Hardcastle. So her versatility, I think, will be useful throughout the coming season. And that, folks, is a Nixon report for this week. Thank you very much.
Sensational, sir. Sensational. Well done. Fantastic. Yes, of course.
Managed to get the word essential in there.
Absolutely. And, rumour has it that the Super League Raw boys could be going to the Super League Women's launch on the 1st of April. May have a few videos coming your way with regards to that. Hopefully we'll get a few in conversations lined up with the women's players in Super League. That'd be one not to be missed as well. But thank you to everybody in the chat, all the fans and all the members, of Super League Raw, who are encouraging people to become on this journey. They absolutely love it, ladies and gentlemen. It's the best testimonial we could ever have. We could tell you to join all day long, but read the screen. Our members are telling you they absolutely love it. What's his name? Bobby Bob asked a question for us boys. Which Super League player would you least want to run at from kickoff?
Pangai Jr.
Greg?
His dad, Pangai Senior. No, Hargreaves.
Do you know what? I'm going to go a bit left field here. I'm going to go people like Mark Percival and Roderick Ty, because when they hit you, you hit.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about size, it's about technique. And when they hit you, I mean, you look at it and you wince, don't you? You go, ooh, tenderising. Yeah. I mean, not being
to be honest, Dave, I think if anybody had hit me, I'd wince.
Yeah.
Tariq Sims and Edwin Ipape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the missus must love it when the boys get home, because you always give a good steak, a good whack, don't you, to tenderise it. These boys go home fully tenderised. Outstanding stuff. Great effort from them all. Right, a big well done.
Great question.
Yeah, great question. Yeah, absolutely. Ty Defo or Williams, says Steve Cartledge. Good evening, Steve. Hope you're well, sir. York Knights, let's give a little shout out to our friend of the show, Mark Applegarth. A massive win for them against the Batley Bulldogs at the weekend. I sent him our very, very best wishes from that. And the Halifax Panthers leading the championship. They beat Featherstone in a fine win as well at the weekend. And of course, we've already talked about winning it. It was a very good result at Doncaster. Winning by 4 points. So
they've got a decent pack this year, Witness.
They have indeed.
Cause a lot of teams a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and one of the big surprises of the weekend, especially the way they've been playing this season, was Bradford going down at home to Barrow.
Yeah,
that was a surprise.
It happens. Yeah, it happens.
It does. It happens. And actually, that's a lovely segue. We don't even practice, literally. We didn't practice. We just got on with it tonight. We didn't have a chat before the show. And Greg there just segues perfectly into it, because you're right, Greg. In sport, things happen, but it doesn't stop people from having a wobbly head, does it?
Give your head a wobble.
Yes, it's that time in the show where we go into the wonderful world that is social media and the keyboard warriors. Let's just put a quick disclaimer out for any new viewers. We know that this is 0.1% of the entire population of your team that go on social media and talk utter dribble. However, it is entertaining, isn't it? And that is why we here at Super League Raw take great pleasure in holding them to account for some absolutely diabolical comments on social media. So where should we start? Let's start with, where should we start first? Let's not peek too soon. Let's go there. Alan Wilson, Huddersfield Giants. Is Robbo out of his depth? Come on, Ken. Time to sort it out before it gets any worse. That was Alan Wilson, Huddersfield Giants fan. Alan, missing on Thursday. Evels, second half, having been bought. Gagai, Clune, Wolford, Burgess. King hasn't played for you yet. Greenwood was outstanding before he got injured. Give it a little wobble. Give it a little wobble there.
The thing is, it can't get any worse. So it can only get better. It can only get better.
Yeah.
Things can only get better.
Things can only get better.
Great name for a song.
Now, our next entry comes from Castleford Tigers. And if Matt Peake could read this, he'd probably tell him, stop crying. I mean, what's happened to good old quality rugby league and British values in terms of playing rugby league in any conditions possible? Because Nathan Peace, sir, really, he says the referee and the weather were to blame because, one, the game should have been called off, and two, the referee made lots of decisions that were wrong. Nathan, really? Honestly? Is that why you lost against Catalan?
I remember a game a couple of years ago where Warrington won and the pitch was flooded.
Yeah, mate.
The wingers, Charlie dove a halfway line and went over and scored in the corner.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
He aquaplaned. Weather's weather.
Whereas I remember that year. Remember that year, Warrington? I think they were playing in like 2 inches of snow. And it was a knock-on fest, and there was that many knock-ons. The referee in the end stopped giving knock-ons, or else we'd have still been playing at 2 in the morning.
I remember one year, and this was in June. Everybody turned up in shorts and t-shirts, and there was a hurricane in the second half. We all had to hide downstairs in the bars. It was that cold and wet.
Bonkers. Anyway, we're only having a bit of fun. Don't take if you're watching, don't take it personally. But you did write it.
And he'll have a rude awakening if the rumour's true that if the NRL do buy into Super League, they'll return it to a winter's game. So they'll have a rude awakening then.
Well, that'll
change. Are true.
Anyway, any publicity is good publicity. Our friends at Red VTV.
That's some of the stuff they put on this
week. It was
week.
their cup final. It was a shame they didn't bring more to see it. Really. I mean, I won't say wobble. I mean, oh, come on, boys. I mean, dearie me. What are you doing? Just say well done, move on. I mean, your team didn't play badly. Unbelievable. Right. We're now going to go to the Wigan Warriors. We're going to go to Tariq Yassin. What we've learned today is whatever people say, Jack Farrimond is not the person to take Wigan forward in the future. The boy, every time he plays, gives us absolutely nothing. Did you not see the St. Helens game at Magic Weekend last year? Did you not see him against London Broncos? I mean, give the kid a break. Yarrickson. Really? On the back of one game? Oh, dear.
Jack Farrimond is one of the most exciting young players in Super League. He's got great potential.
He can come back to his hometown club if he wants.
Oh, lads, I'd say. Anyway, Mr. Sale.
Sure Leigh would take him in a heartbeat. He's a great player.
Mr. Sale, don't sit.
And the other kids there at Wigan.
Don't sit comfortably, Mr. Sale. I think he's the debut for Leigh Leopards. I think he's a debut this year on Give You Had a Wobble from the Leigh Leopards. But Tony, Nico, I hope I've said that right, Tony. Not one to slam players, but I will. Lammy's awful. Don't get me wrong, he's got skill. Can't be awful then, can he? But that's all he's got. All he's got, skill. It's a classic quote, this. Sell him after the game and get someone who can control and kick. That's not his game. That's not what he's there to do. He needs somebody to do that for him. So I don't want to slag a player off, but I will. And all he's got is skill.
Well, that's terrible, isn't it? Why would you want to play with skill?
That's all Cristiano Ronaldo had skill, and Messi.
Mate, there's that much wobbling going on here. I'm going to need ibuprofen and a paracetamol after this show. My brain's going all over the place. Unbelievable.
Don't mix your drugs up, Dave.
Now, here we go. And look, members, you're not free from criticism. You're not. Bazza Kingston, turn away now. Don Kirby, turn away now. Because Carl Varley, oh, Carl, you haven't won anything yet, Chief. He said, why didn't your pappy play not fit to lace Litton's boots? And then he said, no one's anywhere near the Robins now. Carl, hey, your team is brilliant. They're playing some great rugby league, but you've not done anything yet. I think that's a little bit keen. And Everyday Pape is the best hooker in Super League, mate. By a street.
I think the important word there might be now. At this moment in time, he might be right.
Now
he knows what's going to happen.
Did he mean
over
it
the
in
next
that
few weeks?
Did he mean it in that context? I don't know, but all I do know is
I'm trying to help him out here, mate.
I know you are. But anyway, not to worry. We will move on. We've got only 2 more to go. Where are we going to go for? I think we've got to go back to St. Helens. We've got to go back to St. Helens. Saints fans, again, you're going to be wobbling your head like I am. You're not going to be happy about this because Kyle Fitzgerald came out with this one at the weekend. Once again, Mark Percival, proves he's completely useless. Refusing to pass the Sambu on several occasions when he had the chance to. He was your only attacking threat all night. Mark Percival was outstanding against the Warrington Wolves. He was your best player on the
I was going to say that. He's probably the best player on the park for saying.
Oh, mate. I mean, it is funny. I mean
the best from Red V this week was a picture of Chris Kendall superimposed onto a wire kit. That was...
Well, I think... And you know what? Fans. And this is what I love about our membership, because we are attracting people who want to debate with passion and with a bit of style, rugby league. You can't blame a referee. I saw Leigh fans blaming a referee for a 30-0 defeat. I mean, come on, behave. It's not about referees. It's about your players. It's about plays. It's about clutch moments in games. Yeah, sometimes a referee might have 2 or 3 bad decisions, but it's a 80-minute game. A referee cannot dictate a game. And you'd agree with that, Steph. He can only give 6 against if your players are allowing him to do it.
Yeah, it's no coincidence that when your team's getting put on the back foot, the decisions go against you. That's because of the pressure the other team's putting on you, and you're trying to do things to slow the game down in most situations. So yeah, it's rough with the smooth boys, I think.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, Dawn Baker's loving it. She's saying this is hilarious. She's absolutely loving a little bit of give your head a wobble. Saints fans are always already calling for Lomax. He said as well, says Steve Cartlick. You're quite right. They are, Steve. No doubt about it. I agree. Pappy Carl didn't have a good game. Carl's in the chat. I didn't mean now. They are, Greg. You did save him. You did save him. Carl, I interpreted it a little bit different, but it's okay. You can change your mind live on air. Don't you worry.
Carl, I've got your back, mate.
I've got your back. I'll tell you what, though, right? We have saved the best to last. When we have. Okay. So I love this part of the show. I'll keep warning you. We're out there, folks. We're looking for it. You know, you'll notice that in our match reports on the website, good quality posts on social media, we're including them as part of the debate on our match reports. These ones, however, it's all about fun and giggles, isn't it? We're going back to Wigan. We are going back to the quadruple winners. We're going back to a team that has played some remarkable rugby league and probably are still favourite to go on to the grand final. I know okay, I was saying that, but you'd be very foolish to write off the Wigan Warriors. But then Lillian Lewis comes along and she says, what is wrong with the Warriors giving 2 games away? Come on, lads, your fans pay good money, so please deliver. Arrogance. Unbelievable. So do people in Castleford. So do people in Huddersfield who haven't seen their teams win nothing, Lillian. And they turn up week in, week out, not expecting anything. That is a shambolic effort. If Matt Pete is watching tonight, he'll look at that and go, oh, dearie me. It's all what I've done for this club in the last 3 years worth nothing. It's a shocker, Lillian. It's an absolute shocker. I'm sure Dawn Kirby's reading that and she's absolutely disgusted with that coming from her brethren, as will be Craig Ford. Boys, can you believe a comment like that? The arrogance of a comment like that?
I would say some fans, like Salford fans, are paying £1,000 to keep the club going. Never mind the games. They're proper fans, not glory supporting Wiganers.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are some fans supporting teams in lower divisions that probably have never got a chance in their lifetime of winning a trophy.
Absolutely. Steve Carter says,
week out.
Steve Carter says, try being a Warrior fan. I couldn't agree with you more. And Carl Shaw, his head has fallen off. It's been wobbling that much. It's been a great edition of Give Your Head a Wobble. We're out there, folks. We're out there. And with the fixtures that we've got this weekend, there could be a lot more wobbling coming your way in a week's time. We'll have to wait and see. Outstanding fare, as always, boys. Right. Shall we check in on the team of the week?
Go on, then.
Ooh, Mr. Roach. As always, here's your favourite 4 minutes of the
Team
week.
of the week is sponsored by The Good Estate Agent. With an average turnaround time of 3 weeks, if you want your house sold quickly, then contact Stefan today on 01942 356 577. Quote Super League Raw for 33% off. It's the Super League Raw Team of the Week for round number 5 with the Good Estate Agent for 2025. Here we go again. Did I hear Lionel Richie and the Commodores? At 1 is the fullback who loves running in the nights and playing with the shadows. It's Lockie Miller. Perhaps his return will allow Brad Harper to leave Connor in the halves and doesn't Miller. But well, at 2 is Tom Davis, who is truly settled in at Craven Park. Davis scored his 4th try of the season, demonstrating his worthy successor to the 500 career game man, Ryan Hall. In centre is Essen Masters, who was too hot to trot against his former employers. A big don't argue to Tui Lolohea and a Caption pass that had the Red Devils dancing on the ceiling. Oh, what a feeling. At 4, and in defeat, was the exceptional Mark Percival. He was Saints' biggest attacking threat on the night, and yet some fans on social media questioning his performance. Hello, is it brains you're looking for? At 5, oh, it's a long night for the Saints, but it was all right for Matty Ashton on the night shift. he was running proud. The Primrose and Blue was singing loud on the night shift. Oh yes, he sealed the 5th win in a row for the Wire against the Red Bee. At 6 is Mikey Lewis, who made it look easy. A Sunday morning against the Leopards, Adrian Lamb would have loved to have begged, stealed and borrowed a win, but Mikey's performance was high, so high. At 7 was the Wire debutant Mark Sneed, who kicked the Saints to death all night long. Maybe the time has come to have some fun at the Wire. Everybody sing, everybody dance. And here's the Brickhouse himself, Herman SASA. Having been overlooked for the official Dream Team 2024, he's making them look again in 2025. Quite simply, the man is awesome. Hulkamania, it's dead. Long live Hermania. At 9 is Chris Atkin, who said goodbye to Steve with a 40-20 of his own to kick in a new era at the SCS. He's been Cinderella for too long. As our Chris said, he's decided to change his glass slippers for ones with diamonds. This week at 10 is the King Kong to Herman's SASA's Godzilla to Vita Pangai Jr. He walked in and it was just what McNamara was looking for. Talk about laughter in the rain. He's McNamara's one and only. At 11 is Harvey Wilson of the Salford Red Devils. With a name like that, he should have no problems getting a company car, should he? What a performance by the 21-year-old as he gave the Devils reason to believe that they have brighter days ahead in 2025. At 12, it's not Dean Handley, but James Batchelor, whose contribution appeared to be overlooked. Perhaps it's the shiny dome of Dean that made the difference, but we absolutely love Jamesy Lover. Oh, Batch's performance was superb. 4 more tackles and a better tackle efficiency. Quality! And finally at 13 is John Arciata, who is sailing on the good Chip FC. Oh yes, he's on his way to establishing another adoring fan club, but he did well to fend off the likes of Vincella and Knowles this week, ladies and gentlemen. This is your team of the week for round number 5. So there you go. Andy Bibby's being a keyboard warrior. I did say Lionel Richie and the Commodores. They're, of course, 2 separate entities and entities together. You're right. Commodores sang Night Shift. Don't be pedantic. Just enjoy the show, sir. Incredible.
Dave, that's unfair. It's unfair, David, because you put your soul into that.
I did. I put my heart and soul into everything. And then, you've got people, 99.9% is right. And that one little percent, unbelievable. If they could only see the amount of work that goes into it. But anyway, there you go. I'm just going to get rid of that because I forgot to upload this. There it is, the team of the week. We'll put it back on the screen. Outstanding stuff. Right, boys, there you go. We'll just get rid of that as well about DCE. We'll get rid of that. Right, there you go. Team of the week. Greg, do you want to kick us off? Thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I want to say congratulations to Atkin. I think he's been one of the unsung heroes of Super League for a long time now. I was actually sat next to his mum at Widnes the other week. And she seems she kind of asked me, did I know who he was? I said, yeah, I think he's a great player. And she seemed a little bit taken back that a Warrington fan would say that. But I think Chris Atkin has been one of those players that's gone under the radar for a long time and is a very, very, very good Super League player. So I'm glad to see him there. Maybe, as you're right, stepping out of Sneed's shadow. I thought Sneed had an absolutely, I won't say the word sensational, but a really good debut for Warrington. He showed his class. And I think it was probably decided before the game had even kicked off that he'd get the Player of the Match award, the way they were waxing lyrical about him. But no, that's what I've got to say. SASA and Pangai, my word. You wouldn't mess with those two, would you?
Get ready for that collide, mate. Get ready for
what a front row that is. SASA, Atkin and Pangai. And then Asiata at loose. My word, you'd leave the country if they were running at you. Oh yeah,
absolutely. Steph, great to see so many Salford Red Devils in the team, and deservedly so. I mean, people will look at Masters, and of course, there's some Niu. There was a lot of good centres this week, but I thought Masters won his try, but also that catch and pass, and he was pretty flawless throughout, wasn't he, against the Giants?
Yeah, he really showed what we all know is he can deliver. There's a few clubs targeting him from Huddersfield. Leigh, I'm sure, one of those ones looking at Masters. So no, great to see him have a good game and fully deserved his place in Team of the Week. Mikey Lewis was a pleasure to watch. Not for me, but from what just an appreciator of good Super League players, I thought Mikey was absolutely outstanding again. And thank God that injury wasn't as bad, because we need players like Mikey in Super League to set it on fire, and he did certainly that on Sunday. And I think probably the most competitive position this week was the 13. I thought Minchella again for OKR was outstanding, and Knowles for St Helens was brilliant as well. So well done to former League player John Asiata. It's great to see him doing well, and we wish him all the best from Leigh. We all want him to do well. He's a top bloke.
Yeah, and you're right to mention Minchella, and you're right to mention and not Morgan Knowles as well. Morgan Knowles is outstanding.
I thought Morgan Knowles had his best game for a while.
How Harrison got, and again,
so.
how Harrison got in the team of the week, the official one, mate. I just don't. I don't know.
I think it was a masterstroke by Burgess to put him there. I think it's been a masterstroke to keep him and working for 80 minutes. But Morgan Knowles was outstanding on Friday night.
Yeah. He was. No, and again, I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I just think that Harrison, for me personally, wasn't the best number 13. Who is it? Phil's having a go in the chat over Hadley. As I said in the commentary on Team of the Week, there, maybe you spot Hadley because of his dome. That's and that's no disrespect. I've got one myself. But if you actually get into the detail and you watch the game again, Batchelor was outstanding on the other side and didn't get recognised. We recognise it. Batchelor had a far better tackle efficiency in the game. He actually tackled more than Dean Hadley. Did equal amount of work in attacking phases as well. So that was the reason why we went with Batchelor, because
he did the offload, did he as well? Did he do the offload for their final try?
Outstanding, mate.
It was like a centre's offload. It was brilliant. KR were a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, I agree. No, he was absolutely, honestly, go and watch it again. Batchelor, like I say, I think Dean Hadley, and I'm not being disrespectful, I think it could be because of the fact that he does stand out because he's follically challenged, as opposed to Batchelor. But Batchelor did, for me personally, play better.
Yeah, and I think he gets overlooked for his brother at the time as well.
Don't know why. He's better.
He is better.
I think he's a better player than his brother. I really do.
Miles better. Miles better, mate. 100%. He's miles better. Absolute class there. Mike Mackey. Batch was class on Sunday. He most certainly was. 2 people have done the QR code. They've not joined us yet. Guys, we need your help. We need your support. We want to give away more prizes. We need a bigger community. You're watching this tonight and you're not a member. Why aren't you becoming a member? For one latte a month, you can become a member. 2 extra shows. Captain's run on a Thursday. The best build up to the round unpacked on a Monday. Really breaking down each game, getting into the stats, getting into the key plays, as well as the Wednesday night social. The WhatsApp group is now back. The finest community of people you're ever likely to meet, and we're only going to get bigger. Be a part of it. Come and be a part of it. Carl, Dean Hadley is not human. I think you'll find he is, Dean. He's a machine. No, he's not. He's not Arnold. He was absolutely phenomenal, though. I completely agree with that sentiment. And in his opinion, better than Batch. It's all about opinions, sir. It's all about opinions. There was not an awful lot in it, though, to be fair. Not an awful lot in it, to be fair. Right, before we look forward to the week ahead, it's time to do this.
Ooh, pass me a cucumber sandwich.
Yes, it's that time yet again to go up into the press box to those wonderful people that decide who gets the 3-2-1s every single week. Incredible stuff. So we're going to start off at, let's start off at the Leeds Rhinos taking on the Wigan Warriors. Right. Gentlemen, who would you expect to see in here?
Which game was it? Sorry, I was reading.
Leeds against Wigan.
He would be in there.
No. Leeds against Wigan, 3-2-1.
I would say Jake Connor, Brodie Croft. Probably, I would say Harry Smith, actually, for Wigan.
Smith played well. Yeah.
I'd have thrown a Mikhail Legsky in there.
Legsky, yeah.
And who got the man of the match on Sky, no less? McLedge.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Okay.
He called out John Wilkin as well.
He did. Oh, that was quality. I mean,
Wilkin took a step back, didn't he?
He did, didn't he? He was feeling a little bit hot under the collar there, was our John at that point, wasn't he? That was great fun, great entertainment. Right, here we go. 1 point. Palacia. Anybody see that?
No.
2 points, Jake Connor. No issues. Everybody happy with Jake? He should be in the top 3. Yeah, I think we put him top on the day. 3 points. James Bentley.
Oh dear me.
Oh, pass me the sandwich.
I thought the linesman might have got one who thought that Connor actually got that conversion, but
Yeah,
never
I
mind.
mean, I'm sorry, but no, I'm sorry, but Bentley for me.
James Bentley actually had a very good
He
game.
had a solid game, mate, but not
He had
3
a
points.
solid game, yeah.
Man of the match. 3 points.
No.
Best player
No,
on
he
the pitch.
wasn't man of the match. No, Brody
Come
Croft.
on, dearie,
Connor,
dearie,
Alessi.
dearie me. Right, Warrington Saints. Warrington Saints. Sneak got the man of the match. 3. Percival got 2. No argument with that. I thought Percival, we've already said.
Percival was their best player.
Exceptional. A great performance. I mean, look, Mark Percival, again, going back to that, because we didn't really get into the detail, but that person who said Mark Percival had a shocker, he set up a try. He did 10 tackle busts. He ran 24 times for 214 metres. He was the biggest attacking threat on that. I've got no issues with Mark Percival.
He missed the kick, though. God bless him.
God bless him. But from the touchline, not easy.
Yeah.
And then they gave 1 point. Now, for me, and I've said this, I don't understand why he was in team of the week. He gave James Harrison a point. Now, I'm sorry. No. Harrison played well, but he wasn't top 3.
No.
He was nowhere
Morgan
near.
Knowles.
Morgan Knowles at the other 13 had Morgan Knowles, let's break him down, a try which he took brilliantly well, incredibly well. 42 tackles in D, missed 1 all game. Yeah. Incredible. Ran it, he was colossal for Saints, Morgan Knowles. Colossal. Don't understand that. Don't understand that at all. Very, very odd indeed. Then we go. Oh God Almighty! Then we go. Finally, this is it. And well done to the reporters who were at the other games, because actually there was a couple of games where put a blanket over it. You could have picked 10 or 12 people. No arguments. It was all about the game that you saw. There was a lot of contenders, but in these ones, I think certain players stood out more than others. Let's go to Hull FC taking on Wakefield Trinity. 3 points went to Herman SASA. No, nobody's arguing with that, are they? No,
I wouldn't argue anyway.
No, good game. He had a good game, did Herman? No questions about that. 2 points, John Asiata in our team of the week. Yeah, again, no issues with that. John Asiata. Who are you giving the 1 point to? Hull FC, Wakey Trinity. Who do you think would get that 1 point?
Caesar.
You going for Aiden?
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Quite possibly, yeah. He had a good game. He had a decent game, Caesar.
Cameron Scott. He scored a try. Don't get me wrong. He scored a try. But come on. I mean, if you look at Hamlin, I think it's Hamlin Yiller. 105 metres from 10 carries, 25 tackles in D. Atone, 26 tackles in D, 101 metres in the game. Liam Hood set up 2.
Liam Hood
had a great game at Hooker for Wakey. So, if you're going to put, if they want to put a token Wakey player in, if they'd have put somebody like a Liam Hood in, yeah, all right, do you know what? I can probably live with that. But how does Aiden Caesar, who pretty much set up both tries, and let's not forget, Cust went off early, so he had to do the job of 2 halfbacks. Let's not forget that either, and didn't miss a beat. He just didn't miss a beat. How can anybody who watched that Hull FC Wakey game not give Aiden Caesar at least a point?
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, crazy.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. There you go. So, yeah, again, just a little dabble in there, outstanding. But actually, I thought all in all, it was a really interesting round. Yes, there was a couple of games that let it down. But all in all, I thought it was a really good round of Rugby League Round 5. And it demonstrated why it is the greatest game on earth. I
think, Dave, going back to the head of the show with your top performers, there were a lot of low numbers in there that I think kind of showed what a really a few close games we had in there. So, yeah, I enjoyed this round. This has been my favourite round so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I loved it.
And the risk of a really good word, there is a plethora of players in the top performers, Mr. Nixon. A plethora of many aside.
Yes, and a lot have potential to do well.
Aidan Simpson saying it's AI journalism. Doing even in the game.
Don't joke about things like that, Aidan.
I know, yeah. You
Like
get Greg sweating on that one.
I know.
Happy days, fantastic stuff. Right, okay. No Joel tonight, so I'm very quickly just going to quickly do the fantasy league. We'll do it properly next week, but time got away with us. Winning the fantasy league at the moment is Neil Ormston, a Warrington Wolves fan with 3,565 points, not a member, so therefore he hasn't got a hand on the season ticket. Stuart Scaife, on the other hand, he has heeded our warning and has become a member, possibly because he's doing well in the fantasy league. He's currently second at this moment in time, is Stuart. He's got a hand on his Leeds Rhino shirt for 2025. Who knows, he might actually get the season ticket. He's been doing very well. And Super Saints Trish Scott, who's been thereabouts pretty much all season, she is still in third, but she won't be winning a hoodie because she is not a member. So that is the current state of play in the top three. We will, of course, dip into that properly next week when Joel returns. Joel tonight, well, where is he? Well, his Wi-Fi's whiffy. He can't be here. He's decided to not be glitchy this evening and not be with us. So before we get into round number 6 and what some brilliant contests we've got to look forward to in round number 6, this is how the league looks. Robbins, if we may, let's just take a moment to pause here. Hull must be a great night out at the moment because they're on the crest of a wave, aren't they? Both sides.
Who'd have thought it? Delighted for Hull fans.
Yeah.
Hull KR have been thereabouts for the last few seasons. Hull have had a torrid time, an absolute torrid time over the last couple of years. And let's face it, we all questioned some of their signings over the off season, but I tell you what, they've had a really, really good start to this season. I'm absolutely delighted for the Hull fans.
Yeah,
I really am, because Warrington a few years ago were where the Hull fans were last year, and it's not a nice place to be.
No.
So yeah, those signings so far have turned out to be very astute signings.
Yeah. Absolutely, and again, Steph, it's early days for all teams. But here's one, I did pull Carl's leg in the little give your head a wobble sketch. What if Hull FC knock Hull KR out the Challenge Cup in a couple of weeks' times?
Well, it could happen, couldn't it? There's, the way the two teams are playing at the moment. I think it's a draw for every fan. I think that one. I think everybody wants to see that game. It's a shame it's not the final, to be honest with you, because
it is. You're right.
A bit like when they last played each other, it was last one out, turn the lights off kind of thing, wasn't it? So that would have been a great Wembley final, but it's also going to be a great Challenge Cup quarter final. And I think their allocation sold out in 4 minutes today, which is unbelievable. It just shows how much the sport means to people in Hull, and it's great for rugby league in general that both those teams are competitive this season, and it should be an absolute firecracker of a game. This one, if I could get tickets, I'd be tempted to go myself.
I would myself.
You can't get tickets for Graven Park for love of money unless you know a woman named Dawn. But Andy Bibby there saying he thinks Hull FC will be found out in the last third of the season because the players are too old. Don't know.
The thing is, Andy, they've already had probably a better season so far than they had last season. So
I think the most ardent,
a better season.
I think the most ardent FC fan as well would see the Challenge Cup as their best shot at silverware. As most teams will. I think most teams will think the Challenge Cup on an odds bet. Those last 8 sides,
those are still in it. Yeah,
loads got a great opportunity to go and get some silverware this season. I don't think any Hull FC fan genuinely will believe that they're going to win Super League this year. But only a couple of rounds away from Wembley. And like I say, KR fans, that's good. I can't wait for that. I think that's going to be a belting game, especially if they're still in form. If both teams are still in form, with all the hurts and everything.
At full strength, still on form. Let's hope the disciplinary don't have a meltdown and do too many silly things over the next couple of weeks.
Let's hope not. Look, the good thing as well about that league table, gentlemen, is the fact that, when you look through it there, 2 points off. 6 points is 6th. So even Red Devils, it's bad a start you've had, as you would say, Steph. They're not out of it. Nobody's out of the top 6. The only thing that we know at this moment in time, without any question whatsoever, is that the Robins are going to be top 6. I would dare say top 2, maybe even win it. In terms of the grand final, not the grand final, the league leaders. We know Wigan will be in there. We know that. So there's certain teams that are in around that 6 that you would probably bet your house on. They're going to be there in the shake-up at the end of the season. But once you take probably KR and Wigan out of it, it's game on. It really is game on. And it's making for a really fascinating season. So, yeah, great league table. Now then, this is a surprise because he was absolutely diabolical last year, but Mr. Nixon, take a bow. 66 points. He's leading Steph now by 7. He's very, very comfortable indeed. I'm almost out of it on this pace, Greg. I mean, not normally Greg's a good pace setter at the bar, but I mean, at the moment, he's absolutely leaving me for dust. And actually, call me cynical, but a shout out to our mucker Joel. Joel has the honour of being the first ever predictor to score 0 point in a week.
Did I never score 0 point?
Never. It's the first time ever. We went into that game, KR Leigh, with either Steph or Joel going to be on 0 point, because Steph back KR and Joel back Leigh. One of them was going to come out with 0 points. It happened to be Joel. Is it his Wi-Fi or is it just shame? I don't know. I really don't.
Can I just say, Dave, stop the season now.
Stop the season now. Absolutely, yeah. Stop.
Yeah, no, keep the season going. I'm catching you up there, mate. I'm going to catch you up. Don't you worry.
And I don't know how I did that. I thought I had a particularly bad week this week as well.
Absolutely. No.
I think we all pretty much had not a great week, did we? You know,
no.
I think the good thing about this, though, and me and you spoke about it already, Dave, is it's so hard to pick games, and that's what we want. You know, if we're getting options wrong, that just shows you how unpredictable the league is at the moment, which is fantastic. What everyone wants to see. And to be fair, on Sunday, that was the only bit of joy I got, that I didn't get the honour of the only person not to pick a right result. So yeah, it saved my Sunday afternoon, that one.
Well done. Of course, the predictions going very, very well. As always, non-members get to the website every Sunday at 7 o'clock. You can go to our website and you can get involved in this, become a part of the non-members. The non-members are on 56. The members are on 50. Oh, no, sorry, the members are on 56. The non-members are on 50. And of course, the members will be able to vote on WhatsApp every week. So that's how that's going to work. Outstanding stuff. Well done. Right. Okay. We're going to look forward to the week ahead. But before we do, we have 2 tickets to give away for the Warrington Wolves against Leeds Rhinos this Friday night. Can you get to the Halliwell Jones Stadium? That is the question. If you would like the opportunity of joining Super League Raw in the Bluebell, you Leeds Rhinos fans, that's the place to be. If you're coming to Warrington this Friday from 6 o'clock, good evening to Kinetic Rugby League, just to join us. Great to have you here. From 6 o'clock, we will be in the Bluebell.
Predictions,
What's that? What's he saying?
So he does fantastic predictions, Kinetic Rugby League.
He does, yeah. Kinetic Rugby League. He does. He's a good lad. I've sent some messages to him. He's a good guy.
Well, tell him he can't play anymore because I'm top.
Might be doing a collab at some point with Kinetic Rugby League. That'd be nice. But yes, yeah. So anyway, back to what we were saying. Leeds against Warrington, Halliwell Jones on Friday. 2 tickets to give away. If you can be there, you can only say you want to be involved if you can be there. Okay, we will be giving 2 tickets away. If you want to be in with a chance of joining the Super League Raw team at Warrington against Leeds, look, even if you're not a Warrington Leeds fan, what a great night of entertainment that's going to be. Get yourself down to the Halliwell Jones Stadium. So if you want to be involved, get in the chat, say, yes, please, I would like to be involved. Put me down for that draw. And who knows, you could be going to Warrington against the Leeds Rhinos. And you Leeds Rhinos fans, the Bluebell, Horse Market Street, Warrington. It's literally a 6-minute walk from the stadium. We're going to be in there from 6 o'clock. You can come in, you can have a chat about the game, about Rugby League with us, the Super League Raw panel. We'll walk down to the game together. And if you're sticking around after the game, then maybe we'll have a pint afterwards as well. That's what this community is all about. And you Warrington Wolves fans out there, please come and join us. Please come and say hello. Come and have a pint with us as well. Fantastic. I already have my tickets, Dave, but if you can put
put me in as well. So Fraser wants to bring some mates. Aidan Simpson, he's saying that he can be there as well. So Aidan and Fraser, they're coming all the way up from Yorkshire. Aidan's a Cas fan, so even that's what it's all about. A Cas fan wants the opportunity of coming and watching live rugby league and having a pint with Super League Raw before the game. That's what our community is all about. So yeah, let us know if you want to come. Do join the community. We're going to be giving tickets away this year for things like the Grand Final, for the Challenge Cup. We're going to be together at Magic Weekend, and like we've already said, loads of shows behind the paywall that you can enjoy. We are a 7-day operation, bringing you some phenomenal content. Do the QR code, become a member. We'd love to have you with us. Right, chaps, let's get into round number 6. I mean, we're doing this and then we're going to have a break for the Challenge Cup again, but hey, there you go. And it kicks off Thursday night, 8 o'clock, Castleford Tigers against Hull FC. Guys, I don't know if you've actually seen the squads. Again, forgive me. I've been working all day today. I only got home at 7. My intention was to get the squads on the screen for this. In fact, I might be able to do that behind the scenes, actually, whilst we're talking about it. So let's chat about it first, and I'll see if we can get the squads up. But Castleford Hull FC, Greg, I'll start with you. The way FC are playing, very hard to not see an FC win. What's your thoughts on this one, mate?
It is very, very hard. I think Hardacre's missing for this one on Thursday.
Yeah.
Correct me if wrong. Somebody's just signed up. Somebody scanned the QR code as well there.
Outstanding.
Yeah, I think this could be. I'm going to say that word again. Potential to be a really. I didn't realise I said it.
I told you like the word, mate. I told you.
I don't know what it means, but it sounds good. Again, potential to be a great game. Castleford at home. They've always been kind of a difficult team to beat. Catalan probably produced the performance of their season, I would have thought so far. But yeah, I mean, I think Hull are going to win this. I think Hull are going to win it 9-17. So sorry, Tigers fans. Hull 9-17.
9-17 Hull. Right, okay. Let's get the squads up. I've just managed to pull them down. So let's start with this one. This is Castleford's squad going into this game. This ain't good viewing for me. It ain't good viewing. You look at that squad. Joe Westerman backs a bonus if he plays. That is a bonus for him. But there's nothing there that's going to frighten you if you're Hull FC. You look at that, and again we look at the pack. Singleton out. Singleton. Sorry, there, number 36. You've got Lawler. Yeah. And don't you know, these are good pros. I'm not saying for 1 minute. I respect all rugby league players. They get on that field, they do what they do. It's right that you respect them. But you look at that squad, and then you look at the FC squad. So let's put the FC squad up. Oh, would help if we actually brought the FC squad up and not Castleford's again. Let's take a look.
Having said that, Liam Horn, Mellor, they're decent players.
They are.
Liam Horn's a creative hooker. He's a halfback. He's a hooker. He's a good creative player, Liam Horn. So they have got some creativity in there.
They have, but it's that middle unit piece. I mean, you look at FC here. Chamberlain came back, scored that wonderful try. Lovely little ball from Caesar. It's got to be said. If you haven't seen that, ladies and gentlemen, go and look at the highlights. Aidan Caesar. Oh, it was a majestic pass. Again, it's the detail, gents. It's the detail. Forget the fact that he does a 30-yard run. It's all about the pass. The pass was lovely. Beautiful hands. But yeah, you got SASC there. You got Borough. Lane's having a good season. Jordan Lane, I'm liking Jordan Lane. He's having a really, really good season. Surprising to see Cust in the squad. Ashworth there, Essa there, Davy Litton back. Will he get a game? That'd be interesting. Of course, a big blow for FC's Cartwright, isn't it? Cartwright out. That's a hammer blow.
He's been superb this season, Cartwright.
Yeah.
He's been one of the outstanding players, not just for Hull, but for any team this season. Cartwright.
Yeah,
I've really enjoyed watching Cartwright play. He's been an asset to them.
Class, mate. Absolutely, class.
Absolute class, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, then again, though, let's be fair. He's not invited for Christmas dinner if he don't play well, does he? He's got added incentive. He's not pulling any crackers.
But jokes aside, mate, people could say it's nepotism. There's a big word. It's in the team. It's potential to go far. That word. But he's deserved his place in the team. He's been immense. immense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Steph, let's go into the chat before I go to you, Steph. Let's have a quick look. We've got Craig Forth FC, 18 plus. Tom Bevan, another member, 917 FC. Nigel Bennett, all 18 plus. Don Kirkby FC, 917. Johnny Wilkinson FC, 18 plus. Ian Rispin, good evening, Ian. I know you're over there in Tunis. You with Craig. Hope you're on a great time. 917 FC. Phil Webster, 917 FC. I think when you start to say, hey, Nicola Burtmud late to the party, but there's our Nick. She's going 917. Hull FC. When you're seeing KR fans coming out saying FC are going to win, FC are going to win, aren't they, Steph?
To be honest with you, Dave, I've lost all thought with that nepotism. What a word that is.
Great word.
If anyone could put what the meaning of that, I'd love to.
I think it's a star sign.
I think it must be. I thought it was when there was no potato in someone's pie. Nepotism. No.
Give your head a wobble.
Yeah.
That was that awful. It's funny. Go on, carry on.
Nepotato. It's hard not to go against Hull FC for this one, given off the recent form performances. If Catalan can put a score on Castleford, then Hull FC certainly can. So unfortunately for our Cass fans, Aidan, I'm going for a convincing FC win in this. But you never know. Cass are at home. What Cass do need is their fans to get behind them, because one thing for sure, the Jungle can be a daunting place for teams to go to when that crowd gets behind them. But unfortunately, I'm going to go for Hull FC 18 plus.
We keep saying, don't we? It's an interesting round. I mean, again, we're going to get into some more games. The narrative, some of these are really interesting games that are coming up in round 6. And again, I think what we saw in round 5 is that the contest teams came together at the right time based on form and based on league position. And there's a bit of that again this week, which is great. We keep saying about FC. It's going to be interesting to see what FC about. It's going to be interesting to see what FC is about. Sooner or later, you've just got to accept the fact that FC are in great form and are actually looking really good. And if they was to go to Castleford this weekend and do what Steph has just said there, an 18 plus, which I agree with. I think it's going to be 18 plus. Greg, you've gone 9-17. The non-members have gone FC 9-17, and the members have gone FC 9-17. But if they go there, FC, and beat them by 18 plus, one, it shows where FC are truly at. That there's no slip ups at the minute in them, and it also shows where Castleford are at as well, because at the start of the season, Danny Maguire's looking at Hull FC at home and thinking, got a chance here.
Yeah, well, I think this is where Hull FC have to go in and put a performance for me. There's no letting up. It's all well and good playing well against the good sides. You know, you've got to do it, and week in, week out. And so, but I think one of the things I've loved about Cartwright is his attitude, and he just comes across as such a calm, collected. A coach you can tell is respected by the players, and I don't think he's going to allow them to go there with any grandeur and expectation of a massive victory. I think he's instilled into them. They're going to have to work for everything they're going to get this season, and I think that's been the biggest attitude change in Hull FC, which is brilliant for them, and they need to back it up. I do think Carl needs a shout out. He's gone Cass 18 plus. That's a great shout.
Hang on. It's Carl Barley. He's a KR fan.
Oh, is it? All right.
It's all about getting his name read out. Well done. You've done
right, well, there you go. He's got me on that one.
He's happy.
You know what, Steph? You took the words out of my mouth there. I think this kind of will prove what a good and astute signing Cartwright has been to lead Hull FC. We all took the mickey about some of the signings they made, and did he know about these players? But clearly, this game could well cement what you've just said, that Cartwright knows what he's doing. He's got respect. He's got rugby league knowledge. He's brought some values into that team that means they won't be the same team that they were last season. And the league Super League needs a good Hull team, a good Hull KR team.
I agree.
So yeah, I echo exactly what you said there, Steph. 100%, mate. Yeah.
And the thing is we've been let down by that derby the last few years because there's been a gulf between
Yeah.
the two teams. And the good thing about it, even now, you look at where Saints are in this. I mean, the derby, and all right, here we go. Here comes the chat. It's not really the derby, but the derby between Wigan and St Helens on Good Friday.
Right,
It always, it more often than not delivers, doesn't it? It more often than not delivers. KRFC hasn't delivered the last few years, but I think it will this. I think those games this year for us neutrals, I think they're going to be fantastic. I really, really, really looking forward to that. So
Wigan Saints is nearly sold out already.
I know, over 20,000 already. It's outstanding, wonderful, fantastic fair. I remember last year, I think it was at the one at the Totally Wicked, the atmosphere when Sky was on. It was just must have been a privilege to be in the ground. I mean that, and again, the NRL boys and girls, they say it. Rugby league, British rugby league fans just can't compete with us, guys. We are the greatest community in rugby league. Super League Raw is the greatest rugby league community. That's where we're headed. That's where we're going to be.
Carl's put in the chat that FC beat Huddersfield by 1. Beat Wakefield by 4. They still won.
They
won.
won.
Games they were losing last season.
Absolutely.
Those games last season.
Carl wants to get his name
credit where credit's due.
Yeah, look. All I would say.
Where credit's due.
All I would say here, Carl. Yeah, is I would be keeping your powder dry until a bit further in the season. It's only round 5, and what you say now, sir, could come back like Amity Island and bite you on your derriere, sir. Anyway, that's the end of that one. Let's get into this one. Over to the Leopards Den this Friday at 8 o'clock, which means, of course, Mr. Sale can't come to the HJ. He will be at the LSV for the visit of the very, very impressive Wakefield Trinity. Should be a belter. This one will be on Sky Plus, ladies and gentlemen. Cracking game of rugby league, this one. And again, you're talking about FC staying in the grind. Yeah, they nicked a couple of games. Definitely nicked the Huddersfield game. That's the one game this year where Huddersfield, for me, should have won it. And for a reason, squandered it. Credit to Hull FC. No doubt about that. And Greg, you were right. They'd have lost these games last year. They're winning them this year. Wakefield, on the other hand, yes, and again, for those who watched Round Unpacked last night, you'll have already heard this, but I'm not going to apologise for those who didn't see Round Unpacked, because me and Steph quite rightly pointed out, let's look at Wakefield Trinity in the league table. They're on 4 points, but look at them plus and minus. They're minus 10. They've lost 3 games, and their for and against is minus 10. That is quite sensational for a team that's been promoted. It tells you they're competitive, they're working hard for each other, they're having a really good go at it. Wakefield Trinity, outstanding is what they've produced thus far this year. They came to Warrington, Greg, and let's be fair, they well and truly did Warrington. No argument. Did them.
No.
Real quality performance from Wakey Trinity, and that's what makes this for Leigh a game that they cannot take for granted. They're at home, and we'll go into it as favourite based on league position, and rightly so. But as Warrington found out, beware of the Trin.
Well, exactly, and Leeds. I mean, it's telling to say that the Wakefield's 2 wins have come away from home. And so Leigh shouldn't take this lightly. Leigh had a chastening game. There's another great word. A chastening game against Hull KR. They were nilled. Sorry, Steph. Against a really, really good Hull KR outfit that were on fire that day. But I think, although Wake have done better away from home and they're giving good account themselves, I think Leigh have to respond. And the atmosphere at the LSV is second to none. I think the fans will get behind him. I think Adrian Lamb will have had a few words to say. I think Robbie Mulhern's missing, is he, Steph?
No, should be back.
Maybe back. No, maybe back.
Well, that's a huge boost. And I just think that as well as Wake have done away from home, I think Leigh will be smarting. And I've gone for Leigh 9-17.
Leigh 9-17.
Yeah, I think they'll just have too much firepower at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, a lot of love for Leigh in the chat. Don Kirby's going Leigh 9-17. Craig Fourth, Leigh 1-8. Nige Bennett, he's going Trinity 1-8.
Andy Bibby's going Wakey. Mike Todd, going Wakey 1-8. Mark Smith, Trinity 1-8. Thomas Bevan Leigh 1-8. So again, with the greatest respect to Leigh, what a great tribute to Wakey these scores are. You know, we're not saying, the amount of people who are saying there's going to be 8 points in it either way. I think that is absolutely outstanding. I really, really do. You know, great effort from him. What's the kinetic? Show us your thesaurus now. What's kinetic going on about? Help me out.
I don't know. My thesaurus has been extinct for years.
Yeah. Don't know what that's about. Lottery winners are on as well. The lottery winners are on, which is before the game. So as always, we know Leigh.
Oh yeah, they're a decent band. Lottery winners.
Yeah,
well, they're just on that. They're heading for #1 album this week again.
Yeah,
so it'll be their second #1 album. So well done to local Leigh band, the lottery winners, who'll be rocking the LSV.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're not Iron Maiden, but you know, they're a decent band.
Yeah, absolutely. Nicola Burton will go in Leigh 1-8. That's a surprise. Good evening, Nicola. Jensen Holder. Hey up, Jensen. Hope you're well, mate. That's been a while since I've seen your name on here. Leigh 1-8. Welcome back, Jensen. Andy Weil going Leigh 18 plus Leigh. Ooh, that's a bold one.
Could happen. Could happen.
But
can't see it.
That's bold when you consider how well Wakey are playing. The non-members have gone Leigh 9-17. The members have gone Leigh 9-17. A lot of people seeing it close. Steph, how's your team going to do on Friday?
I think it's going to be a real tough test, as Reggie mentioned earlier. You know, Wakefield's probably the best performances of Wakefield have been away from the DIY Kitchen Stadium this year. I don't think this is going to be any different. I think Mike McMeekin has been outstanding for them in terms of their go forward. I think Mulhern could be massive for Leigh in this one, getting him back. If you looked at what happened at OKR, the reason why OKR was so dominant is that the defence was absolutely outstanding. And they said Leigh's attack was clueless. Well, it was because of OKR putting so much pressure on them. It definitely knocked Leigh off their shape and form. Could Wakefield do the same? Absolutely. You know, their forwards have been outstanding for them, and Tom Johnston as well. We give him a load of criticism the other week, but I thought against Hull FC he was back to, you know, what looked like Tom Johnston again. And then obviously you've got Ollie Pratt, who's a massive threat. But I think he's going to, if I'm right, I think he's going to link up next to opposite Tessie New. So that's a battle to look forward to for anybody who's going to be watching this game. I think that's two completely opposite players who will go against each other there. So it'll be interesting to see who wins the battle of that centre position. So what are you laughing at?
Phil Webster. So they're going on about, in the chat, they're going on about thesauruses, and Phil Webster's just come out with a beauty. He says that Greg's thesaurus is on the bookshelf next to Emily Brontosaurus.
I'm a very educated man, don't you know?
Good lad. Well done, Phil. Loving that, mate. That's absolute top draw. But no, you're right. And no, we remarked on Round Unpacked, and it's right. Hiku against Nia at the weekend was outstanding. And you know what? As I'm going to say something now that I think is quite controversial here. Maybe let's have a chat. I thought Pratt. I can't remember. Was it the second game? Second game of the season. Might have been the Leeds game where he had an absolute stormer. Yeah. Since then, he's been steady. But he's not been, you know, and then his name's been bounced about a bit. I don't think his performances have been that great since. This is a big test for him because he's coming up against one of, if not the informed centre in the comp.
Yeah, it is going to be a massive game for him. And I just think it's going to be a really intriguing, just because they're two totally different centres, but both very good in what they do. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. So it is going to be, I think it's going to be who wins the forwards. It's going to be a massive part of this game. Going back to our friend Kinetic Rugby League, I know he said that Wakefield are going to bully us up the middle. I think if Robbie Mulhern comes back, I think it's going to be the total opposite. I think Leigh are going to bully them. I think Edwin Apape is going to have a rocket off Adrian Lamb. I think the Hull KR fans are right to point out I don't think he was anywhere near his best. I thought defensively he was okay, but from an attacking point of view, Leigh need him to be good. But they're absolutely right to point that out. But we all know how good Edwin can be, and I think there's going to be a big reaction from Leigh, especially in that forward pack. And if they get the bonus of Frankie Holton back as well, that could be massive for Leigh as well from a defensive point of view. Yeah. So obviously, I've got to back my team on this one. I think it's going to be a real close game. It could actually be the game of the round. It could be a real two very, very evenly matched teams. Not wrong. But I'm going to go Leigh 1-8.
I'm going to back me too.
Yeah,
you know every week, do you? Anyway,
but vindicated.
Hey?
I was vindicated. I said, okay.
Now there's a word for the
word. That's a good word. That's a good word. That's a good word. 9-7.
Realism. I'm a realist.
You're a realist. Where are you going? 9-17?
No, Leigh 1-8.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, look, I hate to say this, Steph, but Papa was 9 missed tackles against Carr.
Yeah,
most missed tackles on the pitch, and again, I take Carl's point on that. It wasn't his best day at the office, but Edwin Papa, he's not going to have many games like that this season.
No, what I saw, sorry, Steph. From what I saw, he was kind of facing the oncoming storm. Yeah. You know, he was left isolated a lot of the time. Papi in trying to, he may have missed, but he slowed some of them down.
Well, anyway, we'll see. A lot of love in the chat. You know, Tony Pennington, Leigh 1-8. Kev Wole, Kev 9-17. Leigh. Nicholas said 1-8. John Wilkinson, Leigh 1-8. Dawn Baker, Wakey 1-8. There you go. So, like I said, there's the odd one in there that is going the way of Wakey. 9-17, 9-17, 9-17. You're going Leigh 1-8. I can't see Leigh being that bad again. I'm going Leigh 1-8. I just can't see Leigh not winning this. But Steph's going to make a dart in a minute and be back by the sounds of it. So right. Well, you do that. Me and Greg will start predicting this one. Right. Okie dokie. So, right. Let's get into this one, Greg. Steph will be back.
Okay.
Massive game. Huge game. Again, a game that over the years has delivered some wonderful games. Leeds against Warrington. Some really tight games as well. Leeds coming off the back of a great win against Wigan. A brilliant win against Wigan, and that will, of course, give them some confidence. That said, Warrington coming off the back of a great win at Saints. So both of these two sides shouldn't be anything but confident going into this game. It's an extra week for Sneed. I mean, he didn't train last week with Warrington too much. We know he'll have had a full week's prep this week. I thought, you could see even in game one, it could be a very, very good partnership, him and George Williams. Should be a great crowd, we're hoping.
Hopefully, yes.
Beers will be flowing 6 o'clock onwards in the Bluebell in Warrington. Please do come and join us for that. Come and have a pre-game drink with us. But yeah, I mean, Warrington's still a lot of question marks over the back line. Who's going to be in the squad? We know Aaron Lindop is back from HIA. He should be in and around the squad. King, Ashton still doubts. Dufty, I'm hearing should be okay. I've not heard anything about Dufty. King and Ashton may be a concern. Should be a great game though, mate. Your thoughts?
Yeah, my big worry about this is that back line and who is injured and who isn't. I mean, Leeds' performance against Wigan last week was magnificent. I think quite possibly the Las Vegas hangover has hit Wigan later than it hit Warrington because purely because Wigan won and won so convincingly that the hangover hasn't hit them until the last couple of weeks, whereas Warrington had their Vegas hangover straight away against Wakey and it showed. A great win for Warrington. It was hard work. It was graft. It was in the balance. Their defense was magnificent. Warrington's defense was magnificent. People have criticised Lomax, have criticised the Saints' attack. I would give credit to Warrington on the night for their defence. My fear for this is that there may be a couple of bodies missing for Wire. My fear for this is as a long-time Warrington fan that generally when they have a massive win against one of the so-called top four, the game drops off the week after. I'd like to think Sam Burgess has addressed that, but I think maybe the game and the missing personnel this week will take the toll. And I've gone Leeds 1-8 because I think they will be buoyed. They will be buoyed by that win against Wigan, and I hate to back against my own team. Don't generally do it, but Leeds have got this habit of when it's least expected, turning it on. And I'm going Leeds 1-8. I'm afraid. I'm sorry, people.
Wow.
Sorry, people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Steph, your thoughts? I mean, I think you're probably gutted that there's a clash here because I think you might have made the pilgrimage to the HJ for this one, wouldn't you?
Definitely would have. Yeah. It's a shame that that Leigh are playing on at the same time. Although 5 minutes later, because I believe this is a historic game, isn't it?
Yeah. What's the number?
Is it the 500th?
500th game.
Something like that.
It can't be 500. Yeah.
I don't know. There's some milestone anyway, but
yeah, they've manipulated the kickoff so that Leeds are making history again for some reason.
And Warrington, we're 5 minutes later, but yeah, no, I'm gutted. I would have 100% come to this one. Two teams coming off the back of two fantastic results, so it was probably one of the hardest ones for me to make a decision on in terms of where I was going to go in terms of this game. And obviously with trying to catch Reggie, I thought, I might get an advantage here. But when you say you don't often back against Warrington, I think you need a pelter for that, mate. There's plenty of times when you've gone against Warrington.
Throwing a curveball in there, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, you've thrown a curveball at me because I've got Leeds 1-8 as well. But no, the only reason for that is I think it depends on who Warrington have got playing, because I've heard there's a few injuries and a few that might not play in this one. And I think if Warrington are going to win this, they probably need to be full strength just off the back of how well Leeds plays now. Brad Arthur's going to have them so motivated for this. Look at what you can do against Wigan. You need to back that up now. But I'm sure Sam Burgess will be saying the same thing to Warrington, off the back of that. So it's going to be an interesting watch, this one. It should be an absolute cracker at the Halliwell Jones, and devastated I can't make it.
He normally delivers. I mean, it is a game that normally delivers. I keep saying this. Leeds Rhinos fans, Warrington Wolves fans, join us from 6 o'clock in the Bluebell. Let's have a chat. Let's have a pint. It's great when we get good people together talking about the great game of rugby league. Come and join us Friday night at 6 onwards in the Bluebell. Let's walk down to the ground together in unity, Leeds and Warrington fans united, and let's go and enjoy a great game of rugby league together. Joel's gone Wire 1-8. The members have gone Leeds 1-8. The non-members have gone Wire 1-8. So everybody's split on this one. In the chat, it is the 5,000 game. Thank you, everybody, for putting Steph right on that. Who said 500?
I knew it was begin with a 5.
You definitely agree with 5.
Well, I probably haven't been involved in that many of them, you see. That's why.
Absolutely, yeah, that's true. But yeah, I mean, look, a lot of looking down the list here, Wire getting the lion's share. Ryan Bevan's gone Leeds 1-8. But yeah, Wire Carr's gone Leeds 9-17. That'd be a good win for Leeds if that happened. Yeah. No doubt about that. But yeah, everybody's seen it 1-8ish. There's not many big scores in there. 9-17. Blitz Krieg, new one on me. That good evening to you. 10 points to Leeds is where he or she are going. I'm going to go Wire 1-8. I'm going to back the Wire. But I do think it'll be a close game. I really, really do. The reason I'm going the Wire is Leeds, for me, are still a side that they've just won a brilliant game of rugby league. Can they mentally? Can they back it up? They have for many a season now had a good win. They did it to Wigan last year. Let's not forget that. They've had a good win, and then they've tailed off again. Getting up for Wigan, getting up for Saints, getting up for big games, that doesn't win you championships. It does in the fact you've got to win them, of course it does.
but you've also got to get up for those other teams. You've got to get up for other teams. I mean, don't get me wrong, Leeds will see this as a big game. HJ, Friday night, under the floodlights. They're going to see this as a massive, massive game. And let's not be lost on the fact, folks, that we're about to lose the floodlights soon. The clocks, as you know, changing this weekend. So, I love sport under floodlights. I love these type of games. I think it just adds to the drama a little bit. I do enjoy that. But yeah, can Leeds back up? I don't know. And that's why, even with Warrington's concerns in terms of the back line, I'm going to go Warrington 1-8, but it'll be fascinating. I'll tell you what is going to be fascinating, though. This little beauty on Saturday at 5:30, the Catalan Dragons welcoming the Saints. Catalan, real solid win. When you consider the conditions, we said this in Round Unpacked. People would have thought that Catalan wouldn't have fancied that. They were, I thought, in those conditions as good as they could have been. I think they're starting to get there. They're starting to look like they're getting there. Teams are starting to grow in confidence. Saints, it's going to be interesting. It really is, because again, we keep questioning Saints, and I can't believe we are, but we are. Again, I come back to the point that last season, I mean, of course, Catalan finished below Saints last year. They haven't beat teams above them. Catalan were close by them last week. I think we've seen some improvements at Catalan. This is a big game for Saints, because if they was to lose this one, some serious questions would start being asked. Some serious questions. I mean, we've seen the social media keyboard warrior brigade already at Saints. I mean, it would be ramped up a notch if they went to Perpignan and fell to the Catalan Dragons. Steph, I'll start with you. Could be a banana skin, this, for Saints.
It could be. It's always difficult, rugby Super League cliche, isn't it? It's always hard going to Catalan, the travel and all that kind of thing. I'm gutted we've been robbed of Felt versus Kotrick. I think they would have lined up against each other against this. So I'm gutted we're not going to see that. But two teams who've probably underperformed, but then overperformed in certain situations this season already. So it's going to be a fascinating game, and I think Sam Tompkins could be a real big factor in this one, because he loves playing against Centaurs, doesn't he? So and it was like rewinding the clock a little bit against Castleford, and I know that's a different game, but I think we said in the round unpacked, Tompkins looked confident on that knee, which for me is ominous, because if he's confident on it and he's stepping on that leg, then that says he's fully fit to me, and it's probably credit to Catalan for not bringing him back too soon. So he's going to have a massive impact on this game. It's going to be another real close one, which is fantastic, I think, for the game. I'm going to back Catalan. I just think they're going to take a lot from that tough victory at Castleford in those conditions. They're going to relish going back to their own place, and I think they showed for the first time against Castleford a bit of an attacking shape, and Luke Carey was a big part of that. So yeah, I think Saints will be a bit suffering from that Warrington defeat, and I think it might just be a bit too much for them. I'm going to go Catalan 1-8.
Wow. I'm going the same. I'm going Catalan 1-8. Joel's gone Saints 9-17. The members have gone Saints 1-8. Non-members have gone Saints 1-8. In the chat, Thomas Bevan, Catalan 1-8. Nigel Bennett's gone Saints. Warrington have Challenge Cup, Leeds don't know what that's got to do with the price of fish, Ben, but thanks for pointing out that one for us, my friend. Come again. Jensen Holden, Saints 1-8. Saints 9-17 says Craig. Dawn Kirby Cats 1-8. Ryan Bevan 18+ Saints. Ryan, mate, that's a big statement. That is a big statement. It could happen. It's a big statement, though, isn't it? It's a big statement.
I wouldn't be surprised with any scoreline in this fixture, if I'm being honest. Because of the way both teams are at the moment, it could go either way, and it could go either way massively. But I just think it's going to be quite close, this one.
Well, Ben Macklin's gone Dragons 18+. Tompkins hat trick.
Wow.
He might be right. Who knows?
Yeah, Blitz has gone Catalan's 14. Again, our new watcher. We're hoping you're enjoying Super League Raw, the finest magazine show online you're going to find on a Tuesday night. Blitz, make sure you're back next week at the usual time at 8 p.m. Mr. Nixon, your thoughts on this one?
Steph makes a lot of very, very good points there. Saints, their attack lacked something last week. I don't know what it was. It just didn't work. Warrington's defence was magnificent. Warrington have got a great record at the Totally Wicked Stadium. You know, they love playing there. Saints, there was something not quite right, something not clicking. Catalan had a great win in the Deluge at Castleford. Was a great win. I'm going Saints 1-8.
A tight one. Fantastic.
Purely because you know what Saints are like. I hate to say what Eddie said, don't write them off. They will bounce back. Morgan Knowles, for me, last week was one of the best players on the park. If he can channel that into the rest of the team, Lomax can get his mojo back. Yeah, I mean, Sambu, that try, he didn't need to do that dive. Come on, son. Give your head a wobble. You could have walked over. You could have
Hollywood, mate.
You could have back crawled over the line and still scored. Yeah, there was no need for the Hollywood dive, mate. It's
very reminiscent of Davy Litton a couple of seasons back. Very reminiscent of Davy Litton. That
it's going to catch you out.
The big difference was at the time Hull FC were in shocking form, and I just felt it. I just felt it was the
against
wrong.
Leigh. It was against Leigh, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there was
for every Sambu, there's an Alfie Johnson. Just remember that. So, but Catalan will be buoyed by the win, no doubt about it. I just get the feeling that Saints are going to bounce back, and they will want this more. They will want this more. I won't say they were embarrassed last week because it was a great game and either side could have won it, but it will hurt them. And I think they'll bounce back and I think they'll win 1-8.
I think the thing about, I think it's an interesting one. And again, you know, we're talking about the whole FC KR.
I'm being given pelters by Andy Bibby now.
Yeah. But I was talking earlier about KR and FC and, you know, Carl, don't count your chickens until they've hatched type thing. And as much as Warrington on a 5-game winning streak against Saints, that Challenge Cup game's looming large, you know, and you know, you ask any Saints fan, Warrington fan, would they rather have won or lost that game and won the Challenge Cup one? It's a no-brainer. So
exactly.
Warrington fans need to steady on. You know, it's a great win. It was a great win, but it doesn't win you anything. You know, one game doesn't win you anything. It's how you back it up. So, like I say, I'm going Catalan 1-8. I just think that Catalan are starting to move. They're at home, and I think both sides are struggling for form. I think both have not been great this start of the season. But again, we just go back to the fact. You know, I'm looking at the predictions here. The amount I can't remember. In any time, I mean, obviously we have more predictions now, Greg. It used to just be me and you. I can't remember a time since we've been doing members' predictions. One's on the Facebook chat, Step involved, Joel involved. I can't remember a time where I've seen so many 1-8s, and we've had them consistently. And I think that's great for the Ryan all talk about, you know, let's celebrate our competition. Let's make it as great as it can be. If we're predicting 1-8 for the neutral. It's torture when your team's playing. Of course it is. But for the neutral, for the sport, for that, you know, as Steph always says, fear of missing out. You know, you don't want to miss these games because you just feel they're going to be great games. So I'll be tuning in for that. I'm sure the WhatsApp group will be full of great fare on Saturday when that one comes along. We will look forward to it. Right, now we come to this one. And it is, of course, Wigan Warriors. Again, BBC Sport, they don't have Pickham, don't they? Wigan Warriors, Salford. And again, you know, don't get me wrong. I mean, we expected Wigan to really hit back after their exit from the Challenge Cup at Leeds. That didn't happen. Do we think it's going to happen in this one, though? Steph, I'll let you kick off.
Well, you just said there's not been many 18 pluses. This one will be. So I have no doubt whatsoever. And fair play to the Salford fans if you want to give me some grief next week when you're beaten by a drop goal in the last minute. But I can't see this going any other way than a big Wigan win. After the Leeds game, going out of the Challenge Cup, that's 2 on the trot. It's not going to be 3, and it's not going to be 3 because of a massive Wigan performance at home. And if it's not, then good grief, then we are going to have some give you head of wobbles in the in next week's show, aren't we? But I know, as good as Salford were in that victory against Huddersfield, this is a completely different kettle of fish. And I'm sorry, Salford fans, but I'm sure you're realists as well. It's going to be an 18 plus, isn't it, to Wigan?
Well, Ben Macklin saying 40 plus. We don't go that high, Ben. We run out of room on our counting instruments. But Salford Judd, hey up Salford Judd. We need to have a coffee, by the way. Let's not forget about that. He's backed his team. See that, Steph. Back in his team there against Wigan 1-8. Just one for future reference there. Salford Judd, one back in his team against Wigan.
The difference being we beat them.
Exactly, we didn't back him. You didn't back him. Wigan 18 plus, pretty much all the way down the list. Greg, in the interest of time, Wigan 18 plus, is it?
Oh, 9-17.
Plus 1.
Do you know what? No, I think Salford will have gained a lot of confidence from what happened last week. Again, I've waxed lyrical about Atkin. I think he's stepped out the shadows of Sneed. I think he's a great player. I think he's had the shackles taken off him. He's probably been told.
You could argue, Greg, he has potential.
Let's not go that far. I think Wigan are not quite clicking.
Yeah,
they're not quite at the races. Field's a bit of a loss. I think Pete has got to decide, is it Eckersley or Bevan French at fullback?
They've got to put Bevan back.
They have to.
Yeah, they've got to get. If he puts Eckersley at fullback, it'll be 18 plus. If he keeps French there, it's 9-17. Still to Wigan.
You've got to.
I think I'm going to go 9-17 Wigan.
Oh, you changed. Oh no, you are. You had 18 plus earlier.
No, I didn't. 9-17 Wigan.
Did you? Oh, well, I've changed it.
Yeah.
So Wigan 9-17. Marvellous. Well played. Right, okie dokie. Yeah, happy days. Right, okay. Will, I agree. I don't know why the Beeb have picked some of the games they picked this year when there's better fare. That has been, dare I say it, even though it was a shocking game in the end. Well, not a shocking game, it was a masterclass from KR. But when you consider what's been on Sky Super League Plus, the likes of KR Leigh this season, you just think, really? I mean, it really does.
They were unfortunate with the Saints Salford game because of what had happened at Salford.
Yeah, but I get that. But again, Saints Catalan, mate, is on Super League Plus. It's not on Sky. I mean, this would have been prime for BBC because that's a game. That was always should have been a game. Just really bizarre. Anyway,
I wonder.
As Abba once did. But anyway, Wigan. I'm going to go. I wonder. They sang a song called I Wonder. Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. I'm going to go Wigan 18 plus. 9-17 says Joel. Wigan 18 plus non-members. Wigan 18 plus members. Right, we then come to the final game of the round. Again, in the interest of time, we've got 13 minutes left, boys. Sunday, 3 o'clock. Oh, there you go. Let's have a clash. What a great idea. We could have kicked one off at 1:30 and one at 4:30. No, let's have two kicking off at 3 o'clock, which means people have got to choose. The only good thing is that you can red button. You can, of course, record the Wigan game on the Beeb and watch the KR Huddersfield game live and then catch up on the Wigan game later. But you do wonder, don't you? Why they do this? I just do not know. But anyway, there you go. KR just exceptional, absolutely exceptional. Got strike all over the field. We know that Huddersfield have got big problems in terms of injuries and squad selection. Again, in the interest of time, boys, does anybody think Huddersfield can possibly win this game?
No, but what I would say in terms of what we were just talking about, in terms of the stupidity of putting the times at the same times, one of the IMG criteria is the viewers you get for TV games. So this is where it absolutely, there's some great things that have come in with IMG, but how stupid is it that we all know people who watch rugby league will watch any game. We'll watch anything as long as it's rugby league. We'll watch it. So to put games on at the same time, and it can unfairly advantage certain teams because of scheduling in terms of these viewing figures. So it's absolutely ludicrous. They did it the other week where you could have one at 1 o'clock and one at 3. So why not for this? It's stupid. But anyway, one for another day. In terms of this game, unfortunately, I'm going to go KR 18 plus. If they put in 30 odd past Leigh, then they're going to put 18 plus on Huddersfield, unfortunately. But that's more due to the team that Huddersfield are going to be able to field again in this one, with another suspension, Nye Levels obviously with another injury. I do fear for Huddersfield in this one. I think it could get ugly, but I hope Huddersfield prove me wrong. One thing they have done this season is fight and been in games, so I hope they do a bit of that against Hull KR. And you never know, Hull KR may get a bit complacent. We're going to probably learn a bit about Hull KR in terms of how ruthless they are, because one thing's for certain, we've seen this from Wigan teams and St Helens teams in the past. If you're going to be a championship side, then this is a certain game where you'd absolutely put this team to the sword. 100%. So let's see what Hull KR do. But I've got to back them based on what we've seen so far and say Hull KR 18 plus.
Everybody's got 18 plus Hull KR. Earl's yet to send me his predictions, but he will do in time before Thursday. He's promised me that. We're getting a bit of notoriety here at Super League Raw. We know that. We're being invited onto BBC shows. We know that, people are getting in touch with us and they're watching us. So for people at Sky, if you're actually watching this, I'm going to shoot on you for a moment. And the reason I'm going to shoot on you is this. On Sunday, you had, if you love that sport, if you're really backing rugby league, and if you don't want criticism, okay, explain to us the rugby league community, the rugby league family. Steph has said it right. We want to watch rugby league live. We want as many people to watch it as possible. Can you explain to me when Hull KR, top of Super League, are playing Leigh Leopards, second in Super League, in what should have been, albeit, of course, it turned out the way it did, but before the game, should have been a remarkable game of rugby league for everybody to enjoy on a Sunday afternoon. Why would you put on Sky Action a repeat of Leeds Wigan and not a live game?
Yeah.
Explain that to the rugby league community. It's an absolute outrage. If you had the chess championships on, which you probably put before us, live, fair enough. But you didn't. You chose to put on a repeat of a game from the day before and not a live game. Shoddy, disrespectful. I hope we move away. Greg, carry on.
And in the same vein, Challenge Cup, Warrington v St Helens, moved by the BBC to a 2:30 kickoff. And half an hour earlier, Warrington Wolves women are kicking off at home to Cardiff in the Challenge Cup. Hello, why have you done that? BBC, EDI is your watchword, and yet you have just wiped out the whole of the audience watching that women's game in the Challenge Cup. Well done. Well done, you. Anyway, Hull KR 18 plus.
Yeah, absolutely, boys. Everybody's gone Hull KR 18 plus. Right, we've got 8 minutes to go, which means that we've just got enough time for Steph to do his usual.
Are you sick and tired of winning your bets every week? Want to contribute to the bookies' Christmas party? The bets to ignore when predicting the score. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Bet Steph.
Yes, so if you fancy a flutter this weekend and don't fancy winning any money, these are my handicaps I've picked, all based on my predictions that we've already done. But yeah, I've gone for Hull FC minus 6.5. I think they're going to have more than enough to overcome that handicap against Castleford this week. So yeah, 6.5 I think is quite generous from the bookies there on that one. Wakefield plus 11.5. So again, I think that's probably doing Wakefield a bit of a disservice, that in terms of the way they've been this season. It's going to be a big handicap for Leigh to overcome, that's for sure. So although I've gone for a Leigh win, Wakefield at 11.5 was too generous for me in this one. Leeds plus 8.5. I've taken them against Warrington. Again, another game I expect to be very, very close. Could be a couple of points in it, this one. So for him to give them a try and a half, basically, I thought that was a pretty decent offer. Catalan minus 1.5. Some people might raise their eyebrows at that one, but I do expect Catalan to win this game. So hence why I've took them minus 1.5. I think they'll probably be 4 or 6 points. They'll get over Saints maybe. So yeah, we'll be interested to see on that one. And final one, Hull minus 14.5. The biggest no-brainer of the bet for me on that one. So yeah, only 5 games. Again, they're not giving odds on Salford this week. I don't know if there's any more exciting stuff to come with the Salford squad. So yeah, just a 5-fold ACCA. Which is going to return you 26.56 to 1 on this bet.
Which means if you bet a pound, you're going to lose a pound, Mr. Sale. No, actually, do you know what? I actually think there's a lot of value in that. I've got to give you your due, mate. I think there's a bit of value in Steph's bets this week. You could see them coming off. You really, really could. So, yeah, 26.56 back for your quid. Not a bad effort. Of course, we don't condone gambling here at Super League Raw. It's just for fun. And as Steph's strapline says, it's the place to ignore when predicting the score. We take no liability whatsoever.
It only needs one to win. It only needs one to win.
Does only needs one to win. It's been a great night. Again, fantastic fair. We've got 158 people that I can see on the screen. That's we are averaging. We know that our viewing figures every week, across the platforms, it's fantastic. We're talking thousands of people that watch us every single week. But for you 158 that are currently watching right now, we need your support. We really, really do. Okay, you've had great entertainment for 2 hours. You can have even more if you join our membership. Please do right now at the end of this show. Don't go anywhere just yet, because we're going to go through the top performers as we always do before we end the show. And we can also see the what is coming up for our members. It's a 7-day operation. Tomorrow our members will be at their social club where they will be talking rugby league, a drop-in, drop-out session. Thursday we've got the captain's run, the best preview to the rounds action. We've got, of course, in the sheds throughout the weekend. Final Whistle podcast. Massive congratulations to Mark Hill at the weekend. He did a sterling job hosting. One of our members, now a host of a podcast in rugby league, and he did a brilliant, brilliant job. You can be a part of that as well. So please, 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 go over to our website when we finish. Click on the memberships. Great value for less than a latte. You can have 7 days a week rugby league. Become a part of the best community of people that you will find. It's a great thing to do. Gentlemen, I've loved your company as always. Let's do the top performers. We'll be back next Tuesday at 8 p.m. because, gentlemen, as we always say,
can't be a bit weekly.
You can't. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Here are your top performers after 5 rounds of the Betfred Super League. The top try scorers are Bevan French of the Wigan Warriors and Harry Robertson of St Helens, each with 5. The top try assister is Jack Wellesby of St Helens with 10. The most meters made have come from Tessie New of the Leopards, 818. The most clean breaks have come from Joe Burgess, Bevan French and Harry Robertson, each with 7. The top tackler is Oliver Partington of the Catalan Dragons with 205. Whilst the top tackle buster is his teammate Nick Cottridge with 37. The most hard meters made have come from Alex Walmsley of St Helens with 792. Whilst the most uploads have come from Herman SASAF FC with 12. The most goals have been kicked by Mark Percival of St Helens with 24. These are your top performers after 5 rounds of the Betfred Super League.